today. Like, how can I trust something to create? What's the principle behind it? It's very essential to trust the creative process, because everything to create in our lives, it has to come from like an invisible source to become a visible source. So you guys know that, right? So as I was saying, so remember now, a lot of things are going to come into our lives, and we don't know quite how. And listen, and that's okay, guys. It's okay to do that. So how to trust the universe is basically this. It's getting into a mindset or mindset of what you want or what you desire. Just to make sense of this, it's basically getting into a state that you can see your dreams already fulfilled. That's how you trust the universe. You trust the universe by seeing an end goal of you getting what you want. So what happens when you do that? When you do that, you're talking to the universe. You're telling the universe, I put my utmost trust and faith that this goal that I've seen is going to come into my reality to be manifested. Whether it be something, if you want to get your health better, if you want to get your life better, you gotta do that. But you know, the interesting thing is, now listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, it's so simple to do, because look, if it was, everybody be doing it, everybody be manifesting. But it is, because here's the secret to make it simple. The thing called your mind, that ego mind, what it does is, whenever you try to look at the best thing in your life, what happens? That guy comes in and try to show you the worst thing in life. Then you start to go into this cycle. Like, you try to be positive, you try to look positive, then the mind comes in and say, well, what if this happened? Notice how your mind always just like goes for the worst, but it never looks at the best, right? And that's something that's fascinating to me, man. And I've been thinking about that for a while, and I came up with the answer to that. I'm like, okay, man, why does my mind, like, the good stuff I want, I can see it, but then it just pops in, and it all shows me the contrast of what I don't want and what can happen. Like, if you've been in a situation, you're sick or something, it always shows you the worst. Anything happening in your life, it will show you the worst. And then what happens with that, that's going to create anxiety from your body. The anxiety is going to lead to more worry and doubt. So the mind has this cycle, right? So I was thinking to myself, man, how can you break that stuff, man? What's the secret? Because that's about trusting the universe. And I just said, you know what if I just started to overrule the mind? Like, when the mind would show me the negative stuff, why don't I just tell the mind I only want to see the positive stuff? And that was very simple. And that stuff worked, man. So I kept practicing every time I would visualize or what I want, or whatever you go through in your life. Because part of this, guys, remember this, okay? If you're here, you're going to have obstacles in your way. They're just going to be things that are going to be happening in your life. They just happen. And it's up to you to decide, you know, you have to push on through, and you have to find a way to it. That's just how it is. And, you know, none of us here is perfect, and all of us have things going on in our lives, right? You all have stuff going on. And that's why sometimes it's difficult to focus, because you're distracted by so much stuff, like work, things, health, all type of stuff going on in your life. But the thing is, you have to attempt to maintain this positive outlook. I know I know when you're going through it, you're like, man, how it's hard to be positive. People say, man, I have chronic pain, I have this, that, this happened in my life. I get it. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm telling you that once you start to do it, you will see the results, because you're shifting the mind state. And that's what it's all about with trusting the universe. It's getting into a mind state that's going to bring this to your life. Someone says it's an evolution. We're programmed to use the negative. Yep. To protect us. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So the thing I get back to why the mind was doing it, it was just as this person commented here. It's a program, man. This program been living with us, in us, since we were like little kids. And the program shows itself. No, the program just wants to protect. That's all the program cares about, is protection. So the program will do whatever it can to make you stop and freeze. And remember, now we're talking about the analytical mind here, so your mind is smart. So the analytical mind now will start to think. That's what happens. It thinks of the worst stuff in your life, or what's going to happen. And then, bam. You know, guys, look, The thing about the mind is, man, it can drive you to be positive and happy, but it can drive you into like depression, and even some people have, suicidal thoughts, all that stuff. Look, it's okay if that happens. No one's perfect. You're going to go through stuff, but you got to remember that the big picture is you can overcome it. If you're focused, if you keep going, things will work out for you. Things will manifest. Even if it doesn't look like it right now, you're going through it. This is important to have that positive aspect mindset, man. That's how you're going to get it. Get how it work?